Morning, everyone. So, back from Masters, and this video is not a Masters report. I'll probably do another one maybe this weekend. That's a little bit longer when I have time. Anyway, there's another tournament coming up in 2.5 weeks. It's a team tournament, so a four-man team event. I'm going to go through the 5 Warriors of the Dark Gods lists that are coming to it, including my own, and just talk about what I think of them and whatnot. So here's my list. When I say my list, I mean the list I stole from German ETC player Thomas, Little Thomas, not Big Thomas. Um, he played it at a team tournament the weekend of Masters. I had to submit my list at 12 o'clock after Masters, and I was home at 10:30 from a flight, so I didn't want to submit my Masters list for the team event. He did well with this, so I said, all right, looks pretty cool. Let's try it out. So Exalted Herald, Veilwalker, Occultism Master with Destiny's Call, Binding Scroll, Heirloom, a Big Greed Warriors unit, which I took to Masters as well, 2x8 Hounds, 4 Chosen Knights Lust, 2x6 Warrior Knights Pride, which I took one of those to Masters as well, a Chariot, and a Helmaul with 2 Gateways. So, it's different than my Masters list, but it's still within the same flavor that it probably should be not too difficult for me to use even if it's the first game with it. Some notable things, obviously, being the Master Mage, as opposed to just an Adept with the Herald. This allows the Herald to essentially take whatever is the best buff. So usually, in my Master's experience, I took Veilwalker a lot, but even then it just felt wrong. It didn't feel as good as I thought it would be because of what you're trying to do with the Herald. No plus on the cast, all that crap. So, in this context, it'll be nice that I have Veilwalker on another guy. So I have, in this army, has 8 spells. So 8 spells. The Herald has some nice situational spells like Rot Within, Pentagram for the heal. You can take Wrath of God on him, and you're not feel like you're wasting a ton of your spell slots, because now you can have, Wrath of God is great versus a lot of armies, and it's also that threat of 3 dice, the enemy has to respect. But now you have 5 spells on a Master that all have some pretty good uses as well. Veilwalker, Grave Calls, Veilwalker, lots of things. Even the Ward Save spell is actually going to be pretty nice because he's going to sit within the 18 Greed Warriors since he has a 4-up ward. And so he's kind of protected being in there, and if he gives the ward to himself, so he gives it to the unit, which is also really nice, kind of like the armor spell would be. And, with gateways, you can just portal really close to people and then, blast them from there. So I'm excited for the Magic phase. I don't know if it should be Alchemy or Occultism. I have taken a Master Occultism, but it was like my first tournament back last year, so without that Portent, which I've never not taken, I've never had I've always needed Alchemy for him, so this is kind of an experience for me in that. So I'm excited for the Magic phase. Again, it means the Herald can take more like Stomps or Strength 6 all the time. Fly is more of an option because you'll need Veilwalker as much. And really, like things like when you do take Hard Target Heal, Thaumaturgy Smite becomes a really nice spell because the Veilwalker guy's lacking like buffs, but the Herald has a couple options. So let's see what else we have. Like, it's just basically, what do you see is what you get. 4 big scoring units. I did have a scoring problem when I took 3, mainly because I had the 18 Greed, 6 Warrior Knights, and 3 Feldrax were my only scoring. And the problem is not really the number so much as those units have to do things in my list. I mean, there are a lot of points and there are a lot of strength. So, just throwing them in a corner to sit on an objective is not always the best idea. So having 4 will open it up a little bit. Having 2 gateways, I'm really curious. I've never played within the tournament. At least 2 starting ones. So I'm curious how people react to it, how they respect it. With this many units that can portal and this many fast units, there's a lot of potential to just port, 18 Warriors plus a Sorcerer to be close range turn 1 with Veilwalkers. You can get your Herald move in turn 1. It really, I'll see after the tournament. I think 1 portal might still be the way to go, but it's a different kind of threat, right? Because now in the deployment phase, it's not just like, oh, where will he be turn 2? And, they kind of have 2 turns to react to the portal. It's pretty much like when you deploy, you see my 2 portals. you got to make a decision. Are you going to block it with something? Do you have something strong enough to block it? Some armies just legitimately have nothing strong enough to sit in front of the portal. And if 18 warriors come out, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like if your best unit is, I don't know, something shitty that fights, because maybe you're MSU. What are you going to do? You can't drop, just that in front and then 18 warriors come out and then you're just like, oh, well, I'm not going to charge you. So, do you deploy away from it? Is there a scenario where it's actually really bad to deploy your best? I'll give you an example. Let's say your best unit is some, I don't know, fighty block that can take it, but it's hold the center and the portal's deployed like to the left of the port, like it's kind of far away from it. What do, right? If you put your block in front of it, I just won't come through it, but then you're kind of losing the distance from hold the center. And then if you ever do walk past it, then I come through it later on, and I'm behind you. So I'm curious to see how it works. It's a solid list. I mean, it's there's nothing too crazy about it, nothing too special about it, in my opinion. It's 4 fast units, a fast herald that can fight. I mean, there's really no frills to it. 2 chaff and a chariot. Yeah, just excited to see it. See how the magic phase works. See how the occultism works. I still feel like Veilwalker Alchemy is super good, but I mean, this has a lot of damage potential too. Alright, so let's see what else we got. Let's go to this list. So Joey, Jarabu, Warriors, Dark Gods. Let's see, he's a Chosen Lord. Inscriptions, Halberd. Okay. Just a 6 strength, 6 guy with Prelate. He's an Master of Alchemy with Veilwalker. His save is 4+, 3+, 4+, but he can't join units, so a little risky there, but he should be alright with the speed and flying behind things. 12 Warriors of Lust, Relentless, Spike Shield. I hope he knows that his... What is his... Oh, it's Greed. I hope he knows his general... he knows his general can't go in there, but... Alright, that's... I don't know how I feel, but I guess that's a fine unit. This is fine. This is interesting. Stalker Standard. So I don't know. I guess he wants it for the rune. I don't know. You could just take... Lust is very expensive on Warrior Knight, so I understand. This is really expensive too. Sloth. 3, 4. This seems okay. It's fine, I guess. It's not that bad of a list. I don't love the Lord setup. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I guess actually, yeah, it's fine. Aether icon. That's just kind of randomly out there since he can't join. Warrior block. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's different than mine. This is the same unit I have. He has no chaff. Like reliable chaff. Like obviously the wretched ones can eventually hold people up, but he has no like true chaff. But he has some big ass units. Well, we'll see how it works. It's not that bad. I don't know how good he's going to be with portals. I mean, I think 4 of the 5 warriors have portals in this particular tournament, so we'll see how good they are with them when it comes to that. Yeah, I don't mind this list. Joey doesn't make bad lists. Horrible lists usually. It's usually just him playing them that fails him. This is actually probably not too bad with Alchemy. No champion is weird because you lose leadership 9. Same with Warrior Knights. It's like you buy the 6th Knight, but if you bought a champion, it's cheaper and you get an extra wound anyway. Like this could have been 5 Knights. I mean, I still don't think it would be worth it at 5 Knights, but like, I don't know. I don't like the Stalker Standard too much. But I guess it's nice. No, I guess because my chosen Knights are Lust, because I want. That's why I didn't obviously choose this, but I like it because these guys can't go through woods and runes well, but these guys can. And since there's usually there's always like a runes on the board, having a unit that can sit in them is pretty nice and not take damage from it. That was one reason I liked Feldrax, except 2 Knight units, was the Feldrax can go through the woods and not take damage. So it's like I just deployed the warriors outside of woods. So I can see the reasoning, having one of your warriors to go through nights or woods. It just, I don't know, this feels weird. Maybe this like could have been chaff, like felt. I guess probably should have been 2 units of flares and maybe like a champion on the knights or something. But other than that, I like it. Here, blessed inscriptions, halberd, 65 points for that. 10. Why is he? Does he need greed to get all this stuff? 50. I don't even think he need. Why is he greed? He gets 150 without it. 65, 35, 10. I don't know why. I don't feel like he's over points. Right? 65, 35. He needs it for this. Why are you greed? I guess so he can join the greed warriors. It has to be it. And the problem with like I don't love greed, but he could have just been normal warriors. So the problem I have with greed, and I don't know where he's gonna go, but when you're on a DS and you're in a greed warrior unit, unless you're going wide, like you're paying for a lot of attack. You're paying a lot of points for things that like weapons you probably won't use, right? If your lord's in that unit and you're 5 wide because you want ranks, and heaven forbid your fucking shrine is in there with you, you're paying all these points to go great weapons when only 2 models are fighting or 3 models are fighting, and so I don't know. But I guess it does if he leaves the unit. I don't know. This just feels a little weird to be greed, but I don't know. I like this list. We'll see what he does with it. I would just drop this for chaff, like better, like more reliable chaff. Like you already have enough shit. Little slow. My is relentless. We'll see. All right, germs. So this is the list without the elder or without the helm wall. It has elders. All right. Let's see, a shieldbreaker lord. So he's a gluttony shieldbreaker guy with basalt, talisman, shielding, and mortal gauntlets. Right, so he's a 4-up save with 6 shieldbreaker attacks, or does he? I can't tell if he took paired. He took paired weapons. So a 4 save, yeah. So he's a 1-up, 4-up with 6 strength, 5, 6 potentially because of gluttony, shieldbreaker for 670 points. Interesting. I don't know if I like. I've people have been taking shieldbreaker a lot. I haven't been impressed playing against it personally, but let's see what else we got. We have a Shrine Master Alchemy guy with heirlooms, big balls, 800 points. A Sloth unit with Legion Standard. That's just a tough unit to get through. 659 points. Is that all it costs for Sloth? Damn, look at that. Legion, you put your Battle Shrine guy in there, you're up to 26. I don't understand the Legion point in the standard because if you lose 2 models, you lose your rank, and you can't put anyone else in there. So like you're paying 25 points, 20 points for +1 combat res for literally like 2 wounds. So like if anybody, I mean, if you're not taking, I don't know. It seems maybe because you're toughest 5 with Spike Shield, it's not that bad. It just seems like this could have been something else potentially. Like I don't even know. Something else. What's this guy save? Oh, he should have Alchemist Alloy 100%. Why he doesn't have Alchemist Alloy to give him the 2-up save, I have no idea. Right? He's missing it. Yeah, he should have something to give him the 2-up save. Barb Horseman, fine, scoring. Gluttony Knights with speed. 10 of them. That's a big unit. Forest Gluttony Lord. They have lances at least, yeah. Alright. I think Gluttony's pretty cool on Knights because you charge. I mean, she'll only be AP 1 the second round, but you'll at least be Strength 5. 5 flares, 5 flares. They have Skinning Lash. I like flares. Elder Chimera. So he has a fairly slow. The problem I have here is like this unit is just so fucking slow. So like a fast knight unit, he has 2 units, right? It's like 2 units, 2 elders. I mean, it's fine. It's not bad. I don't hate it. Elders, Chimera. Not in love with this guy. But I've been kind of anti-shield breaker myself, so I just don't think it gives enough. But otherwise, it's a pretty solid list. I mean, it's gonna be hard to break through this kind of shit. That's the thing that I've learned with Warriors. Is even lists that I thought were slow and like not that good, it's still hard to get. It's a lot of toughness, high saves to get through, and I just think it's very difficult for some armies to get them down. But I think some, maybe not this particular list, but I think some of the slower warrior lists have trouble getting a ton of points. It's just they don't lose a ton of points, and then it requires the enemy to come in and get the points. And if they do it wrong, you almost just win by like being there, right? Oh, you died to my spike shields and you did 0 wounds. It looks like I win the combat, even though you did 0 things. So, but it has good chaff. 3 scoring. Is that it? 3 scoring, but it may have a scoring problem depending on the scenarios, because like these units, I mean in the center it's fine, right? But like sometimes these units have to do things and they can't go off. Like if you play secure target and they're like off to the sides, like really far off, it's like assuming the enemy can take on the Barb Horseman, how do you get both and be fast enough? I don't know. Could work though. Alright. Yeah, I like Elders a lot. And I'll see how it could pair very well. It might pair horribly too. Alright, next one. Let's see what we got. So we have a flying symbol slaughter guy with obsidian rock and dragonfire gem. So it's nice for his alchemy to have this. He still has no. So I took a flying portent guy. He's taking a flying symbol slaughter guy. So he'll have 7 strength, 5 attacks. No rerolls, much like I did. Let's see what else he has. He's an occultism mage with extra channel. He does have Veilwalker. And a horse. 2 Barb Horsemen with great weapons. Nice for scoring. Pretty big warrior block, 20. Does he not? He has no champion. That's interesting. Again, a champion's only. It's like 30 points for an extra wound and stuff, and leadership 9. It's actually kind of a decent deal to get one, I think. And then he just has 4 times 6 chosen. Are they all the same? One's different. One has Wasteland Torch. Okay. They all have champions. Do they they just have champions? This is what I'm saying. Am I saying this wrong? Maybe they have musicians? Doesn't look like it. Alright. And then 2 portals. So essentially, he's going to join this to this unit. And then or to these. And he's going to portal around and hope that he kills you with his chosen. One. I've seen this. He's taken this style before back, but he had 2 Helm Walls with 1 portal each. This is probably smarter to do this. It saves points. I don't know what he put the points into. So his magic's similar to mine. He does have Veilwalker, yeah. His magic's similar to mine. He only has 4 spells. It's enough, I guess, but he might feel lacking in that aspect. It's just damage, though. Scoring, obviously he has enough scoring as long as he doesn't. If he plays flags, it'll be annoying. Yeah, with all that scoring, I guess these 2 are for the sorcerer. They'll keep it alive. I mean, what's the biggest thing you see with this army? It's slow. It's slow as shit. I mean, yes, you have portals, but besides portals, it's like a bunch of movement 5. At least they have Swift Stride guys. I mean, I have personal dislike for like elite infantry sometimes because I've played with Chosen before, and you're just like one stomping monster away from fucking killing everything you have. I'm curious how this does. I'm really curious. I mean, obviously he's taken it once like a year ago and it did well, but like I'm curious how it does versus like the good teams. Like if they handle it fine. Like this guy is very interesting. Like some armies just don't. He's a one of rerollable spike shield, which is great. 7 strength 5. Some units just do not want to touch that. He's not that threatening to characters. Like sure he has, like I said, 7 strength 5 attacks, but you know a 1-up save character doesn't really care that much about it. Um, so you're at the threat of like just he can kill some units really well, and some units he's just gonna hold a lot of units really well. He's a fine character. I mean, I played the ploring guy, and he's a risky guy because if you're ever out of the unit, at least he's okay versus alchemy. But if you're ever out of the unit versus like cannons or like doom wheels or something, then you're just one unlucky fucking spell away from dying, or snipes. I mean, he has obsidian rock. That's great. He's I think he's MR3 if he's in a unit. Great. But you're still like, if people just throw it at you, it's so many points to get him, right? I mean, he's your general. So, I don't even say lucky, because MR3 is still, if they just roll 4 or 5 dice, they can still get it. Just one fucking snipe away from like, oh, you just lost your 900 point general. I've had it happen. So it's definitely scary, and it's scary to charge him out because you'll kill things and then be left out alone, and then you'll die or something. But it's a fun model. It's a fun model, and starting with 2 portals and a big warrior block probably gives you a nice. Honestly, it's probably, thinking back to my masters list, it would have been interesting if I had 2 portals to start because the pressure can be on very quickly. Actually, I think the style of like a flying lord, like if these 2 units were Feldrake Elders, and you drop this, so take a Feldrake Elder for these 2, you still have fucking 5 scoring. You don't need that many scoring. I think Elders are better than 4 units of Chosen. This list would be, I would like it a lot. Or like this style. Like it almost makes me want to be like, oh, I'll take my Flying Lord again. I'll see how 2 portals do before I claim this. But it was an interesting build when he did it before, and we'll see if it works again. I mean, if you compare it, well, I have a Herald. It's not really comparable to mine, but All right, there's one more. Phil Blake has moved over to the Warriors from his UD, and let's see what he's taken. He's taken a single character with Master Alchemy, Veilwalker, Binding Scroll. So I would have liked Rod of Battle to be. I know the points is different. He could have dropped this part. I would have liked Rod of Battle to be Heirloom. Oh, he's a Battle Shrine. Maybe he can get away with it. I still think it's better. I don't know if Rod of Battle is better. It's okay. +1 to hit. We'll say it's fine. 20 warriors agreed. 10 warriors. Standard musician, no champion again. Losing out on the potential leadership 9. I don't like standards that much. I would have probably dropped 1 greed warrior or 2, because you can get away with 18 just fine. Maybe 1 and change this standard to a champion and lust so it can flee and put him in it. Because he's not going to go in this unit. If he does, again, the whole thing, he takes up 4 spots in the unit. In a greed unit, so you don't really want that. So I would have dropped 1 warrior here and taken the standard and made this lust warriors. Because I think it's about point. There's 285 for 10. Yeah, that would have worked out. Because this is 31 per model, I believe. So I think that would have been 1 point difference. Let's see if he had any other points. I mean, the thing is, his list is very, like, exact on points. So, like, he didn't really have the points to drop everything I wanted. You'd have to drop paired weapons. I think if I drop paired weapons, take one of these away, make this lust, then you can at least have the ability to flee and whatnot. But I digress. It's still fine how it is. 2 giants. Battle Shrine will probably go in these warriors. Which actually, this plus the Battle Shrine creates a pretty solid unit of just mass to sit there, and it becomes 22 models big. It's not as great in greed because, again, you're losing attacks. Why not just take normal ones? But 5 flayers for chaff, boom. Fucking 2 chosen units, which we'll talk about, a gateway to port around, and some hinges here. Let's look at scoring real quick. 4 scoring, probably enough. A little slow on some of them, but I don't think that's going to be too much a problem. So he has good magic. I do like his I think Veilwalker Alchemy is a great thing to have, and he has another channel, another spell here. So he has 5 spells and a bounce spell. I don't love Rod of Battle, but I'm sure. I mean, on Wrath, I mean, if you get it, I mean, it's one of those. It's interesting because if you get it off on the units that are good, it's amazing, right? It's actually +1 to hits very good on warrior blocks, like these kind of guys and stuff. So these units are very expensive, but they're very hard to attack. Because they get to strike at initiative 6 with fucking 30 strength 6 attacks if you charge them in the front. And they are a little slow. Movement 5. Obviously, he has portals to get you up the board. So I think it'll take good portal play. He's probably a little susceptible to shooting. Like, Chosen Wrath are a lot of points per wound, right? 20, 40 points per wound-ish. 3-up save, toughness 4. It's just, I guess it's a lot of things in Warriors, too. I don't know. You never know, though. It's just that fear of, like, you lose half your unit to, like, couples on your way across. Can you get the job? Can you catch things? Are you just chaffed and out of the way? But it's going to be a tough list to, like, get through. It's a lot of meat. It's crazy how much you can fit when you don't take 2,000 points in heroes. So, this unit is as expensive as a herald. So if you look at my list, I have a herald. If you dropped him, you could take 10 Chosen Wrath Great Weapons. Now there's an interesting. I toe that line, and I have discussions with people about what's better. Is it better to have a bunch of really strong single models that hold their points, or is it better to have like units that just fight a lot of things? Because if my master's list was like 2,000 points in heroes, a 680 point flying general, an 820 point herald, a 460 point mage. So if you look at this list, it's 1,400 points difference. If you're getting like 2 of these units for what I took. So at what point, I'm doing something with my hands. At what point is which one's better, right? I don't know. I actually really like all the lists coming to this event. As far as warriors are concerned, I mean, they're not ones I would play. What would be the one I would play? I don't even know which one I would play. If I had to choose one, obviously not my own, because I would play my own. I don't know. They're all not that different. I would tweak every one of them a little bit. I kind of told you, like, this kind of style would be really cool if these 2 were elders, because then you still have speed, you have 3 good potential portals, and you lose some of the portal value. I don't know if 2 elders would be the best with that. Maybe, yeah. Germs is pretty good. Like I said, I don't love this Lord setup. I like Joey's. Maybe Joey's is the one I like the most. Not even. I can't give him that credit. I like this one, too. I'm curious how they do. Like, I'm really curious. So the 2 parts of it is, there's been a theme recently with Hellmalls at Masters and other tournaments where not as many people take them. Not many Warriors players take them. Typically, it was me and like one other person taking them, even though there was a lot of Warriors coming. And this one, there's 4 people taking them. And I think 3 of us are starting with 2 portals, which is not common at all in America. Some people have taken them, but it's not like you rarely see 3 at one tournament. So I'm curious how these people do, one, using their gateways, right? Because there's especially versus the good players, like, you have to know how to use the portals, and they do have lists that are kind of, they're on the slower side because they're all like chosen and stuff. Well, 2 of them are slow. I like this one. They at least all listen and take like a master Veilwalker guy, which is important. What, there's 2 alchemies, 3 alchemy, 2 occultism, Veilwalker dudes. That's some brutal magic phases. We'll see if I can get best warriors at this fucking event. I'll have to pair for myself. But yeah, those are the warriors lists. I actually think they're interesting this time. Not as many. Germs is the closest to smash your face, just walk forward, elder type stuff. which I think is not as cool as this kind of style. So I hope they do decently, but just not as enough to beat me. So anyway, that's my quick review of this 5 Warriors list coming to Colonial Carnage, which will be in 2 weeks. It's a team event. Hopefully my team wins. And I'll do a Masters review probably this weekend for those interested. Thanks again. Bye.